Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good, and please take up your studies seriously back at home, because we do not have the classroom teaching right now. All the teachings will be on the online. So very quickly coming up to the topic for the day today. Today I will be talking about capital structure theories, and then we will go into the details of the theory. So first of all, let me tell you what capital structure theory is. So at the very outset, let me tell you that if you want to understand capital structure theory, relevance and irrelevance model, so first you should know what is a financial leverage. If you do not know what is a financial leverage, then you will not be able to grasp the content of the capital structure theory. So first of all, you should learn what is a financial leverage, what it does, and then you will be able to understand the capital structure theories. The capital structure theory can be divided into two major approaches. First approach is the relevancy approach, and other approach is known as the irrelevancy approach. Now what does relevancy approach tells? The relevancy approach tells that the design of the capital structure puts an impact on the value of a company or value of a firm. Whereas the irrelevancy approach tells that the capital structure has nothing to do with the value of the firm. So I'll tell you what does it mean. So relevancy approach has a net income approach and traditional approach. Irrelevancy has a MM hypothesis that is known as Modi, Gilani and Miller approach. So let me tell you first. The capital structure theory says that if there are two firms, firm A and firm B. So we have two firms, firm A and firm B. Firm A has 50% equity and 50% so debt. So I am shading the area that represents debt. And firm B has 100% equity. So it has 50% equity and 50% debt. So Abari, just hold on. So this shaded portion is representing the debt, and 50% is your equity. So this is E stands for equity and D stands for debt. Whereas in the case of firm B, it is all equity. Equity is equal to 100%. Now suppose the total capital of both the companies are 10,000 rupees. Both the companies, the total capital is 10,000 rupees. And if the price of the share in the market is 10 rupees, not in the market, the issue price, sorry. The issue price is 10 rupees. So how much share the firm A must have issued? So the total capital is 10,000 rupees. So that means 5,000 is equity and 5,000 is debt. So altogether, how many shares does the firm A has? The firm A has got 5,000 equity shares. Sorry, not share, equity shares. Equity capital. So if we divide 5,000 by 10, so the total shares will be 500 shares. So I am now rubbing it. So the firm A has 500 shares. Okay. Whereas in the case of B, there is no debt. That means all 10,000 is an equity capital. So we divide 10,000 with 10 rupees because 10 rupees is the issue price of the share. So how many shares does company B has, or the firm B has? It has got 1,000 shares. So 500 shares, 500 shares and 1,000 shares. Now let us consider two families. Suppose there are two families. In one family there are only two children or two kids, and in the other family you have 5 kids. You have got 5 kids, and their parents gives them a Parle-G biscuit, both to this family. So their parents gave him one pack of Parle-G, and one pack of Parle-G contains 20 pieces of biscuits or 20 biscuits, and their parents also gave them Parle-G one pack. How much will each individual get? So because there are only 2 kids, so each one will get 10 each. Whereas in the case of 5, how much will they get? They each will get 4 pieces. 4 each. So now let us translate the Parle-G biscuit as profit. So if suppose these kids represent the shareholders, how much will each shareholder get? The share, in this case, the shareholders will get more because they will get 10 each, 10 biscuits per shareholder. And how much will they get? They will get only 4. You see, the profit remains the same, but the wealth to the shareholders changes when there are more participants. Now let us take this example in context with a company. Now company A has 500 shares, whereas company B has 1000 shares. So of course, when the profits will be distributed, company A shareholder will get a higher dividend, but company B shareholder will get lower dividend, even if the profit remains same. Therefore, in the capital market or in the share market, the company A share will be valued higher than company B share. So this is basically how a financial leverage impacts the value of a firm. Now, when we are talking about relevancy approach and irrelevancy approach, the relevancy approach says that in the share market, the value of the shares are dependent upon the capital structure. So if in the capital structure there is debt, their shares will have a higher market value as compared to the similar kind of a company which does not have debt in their capital structure. So this is what the relevancy approach says. The irrelevancy approach says that the capital structure will have no impact on the value of the company or in the market value of the shares. So we will first start with the net income approach and how this approach helps us to value the value of a firm. So first we will take up net income approach, and students, as you know that the net income approach is a relevancy approach. So this approach supports the theory that the capital structure does influence the value of a firm. Now what is the value of the firm? The value of the firm in context with the capital structure theory states that any firm which has debt or more debt in the capital structure, the value of the firm will be higher than those firms who have a lower level of debt in their capital structure. So therefore, a company having more debt in the capital structure, the value of that firm will be high. So this is a relevancy approach. This approach is very easy, provided you mug up a formula. So first of all, in the net income approach, you just have to very blindly mug up this formula. First of all, we will calculate NI. NI stands for net income. So NI is equal to NOI. NOI means net operating income. NOI minus interest. First, once we have calculated the NOI, the second variable that we are going to calculate is E. E means value of equity. So value of equity is equal to NI upon cost of equity. Now these all values will be provided, or you can assume these values. So no need of worrying at all. You will get these values. So cost of equity, NI or net income upon cost or cost of equity is known as the value of equity. E stands for value of equity. Then we will calculate D. D stands for value of debt. So value of debt is the interest divided by the cost of debt. Once you have calculated the value of debt, The next thing that we are going to calculate is the value of firm. Value of firm is equal to value of equity plus value of debt. Very easy. Then we will calculate cost of capital. So the cost of capital is net operating income divided by the value of firm. And at the last, we will calculate weighted average cost of capital. So the weighted average cost of capital is equal to cost of equity into into E upon V plus cost of debt divided by D upon V. So once you have marked up this formula, then we will proceed into the numerical part. Now students, let us consider three scenarios here. A company is considering three capital structure alternatives in order to finance its fixed assets. In the first category, the company is not going for any debt. That means the debt is zero. In the second plan B, the company is opting for a debt of rupees 3 lakhs, and to get this 3 lakhs rupees, they have to pay interest of 5%. So the cost of debt is 5%. In the plan C, they are considering a debt of 9 lakh rupees at the same interest rate 5%. The cost of equity is 10% and cost of debt, as I have already told you, that it is 5%. Now come to the previous formula that I told you. The first thing that we have to calculate is NI, that is net income. So net income is net operating income minus interest. So we have deducted the interest because there is no debt, so no interest is there. So NOI is 1 lakh for all. The NOI will remain same because the profit, NOI means the profit or the sales revenue, is not going to be affected by the capital structure. Okay, so it will be even for all the three scenarios, whether it is plan A, plan B or plan C. So the sales is not going to be affected by the capital structure. So for all it is 1 lakh. Less interest, zero, because there is no debt, no loan has been taken. In this second case, plan B, there is a debt of 3 lakhs rupees. Now because there is a debt of 3 lakhs rupees at the rate of 5%, the interest will be 15,000 rupees. And in the plan C, there is a debt of 9 lakhs rupees, and since there is a debt of 9 lakh rupees, so the interest is 5%, so it is 45,000 rupees. Now we have to calculate NI. NI is equal to NOI minus interest, that is net operating income minus interest. So in the first case, the net income is 1 lakh, 85,000 and 55,000. The first thing that we calculate is the value of equity. E stands for the value of equity. I told you earlier in the previous formula. So value of equity is NI, that means this one, divided by cost of equity. We know cost of equity is 10%. Now when you divide NI by K, you do not divide it like this. You will not do 1 lakh divided by 10%. No, not like that. The 10% must be written in fraction like 0.10. So when you divide it, you will get 10 lakhs. In other case, it is 8 lakhs 50,000, and in the last case, it is 5 lakhs 50,000. Now you have calculated the value of equity. The next step is to calculate the value of debt. I already told you the formula for the value of debt. It is interest divided by the cost of debt. Now since we know that the cost of debt is 5%, again we have to use cost of debt in fractions, not like in this case 15,000 upon 5. No, not like this. We will use it in fraction 0.05. Okay. So in this case, first case, there is no interest. Therefore, the cost of debt is also 0. In next case, the interest is 15,000. So 15,000 divided by 0.05 will be equal to 3 lakhs rupees. 45,000 divided by 0.05, that is 5%, that will be equal to 9,000. Now next is we will calculate the value of firm. The value of firm V stands for value of firm. It is cost value of equity plus value of debt. That means this plus this. So 10 lakhs plus 0 is equal to 10 lakhs. 8 lakh 50,000 plus 3,000 is equal to 11 lakh 50,000. and 5,50,000 plus 9 lakhs is equal to 14,500. Now we will calculate the cost of capital. So both the formula, whether it is a WACC, that is weighted average cost, or whether directly dividing NOI by V, in both the cases you will get the same result. So I just calculated for WACC. Formula, you know, whether you use this formula or this formula. So it came out to be 10%, 8.7 and 8.1. So you see, when the company is using more debt funds, the value of firm is rising. However, there is no change in the sales figure. The sales remains, or the revenue remains same. So even if the revenue continues to remain same in all these three cases, but still in all these three cases it does not command the same value. When more debt is used, the value of firm rises, and you know the secret why it rises, because when you are using more debt funds, the participants or the shareholders number decreases and the dividend per shareholder will increase. That's why the people or the investors will be attracted to invest in a company who has got more debt in their capital structure. By doing this, they will be able to increase their dividend earning from that investment. There is one more important thing that need to be noticed here. When the value of firm is less, the cost of capital is always high. But when the value of firm is high, the cost of capital is always less. So this is one of the important attributes of a good firm. A firm whose cost of capital is low, its value will be high. So this is how you will use this formula, and you will use the you will calculate the values, and this of course represents that when the more debt structure is used in the capital structure, the value of firm increases. One more important thing, let me tell you, you are seeing that the cost of capital is decreasing when more debt is used in a firm. So we can also represent this phenomena by the graphical method. So if this is cost of capital and this is degree of leverage. Degree of leverage means how much debt you are debt fund you are using in the capital structure. So the upper line represents the cost of equity and the lower line represents the cost of debt. Of course, you see the cost of debt will always be lower than the cost of equity. You see our cost of equity was 10% and the cost of debt was 5%. So always cost of equity will be high. But the cost of capital, as the debt funds will rise, the cost of capital will go down. So middle line represents cost of capital. So if more and more debt funds are used, you see more and more debt funds are used, the cost of capital is decreasing. You see 10, 8.7 and 8.1. You see it is downward sloping cost of capital. So you see the cost of capital will always tend to move downwards when more and more debt funds are used. And using of more and more debt funds is known as degree of leverage. I hope this makes some sense to you, and if you have any question pertaining to this topic, you can just comment on the comment box, or you can just write a mail to me regarding this. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much.